Hey everyone, thank you for joining me for another video, and today we're going to dive back into PowerWash Simulator. Now, the last episode we did the shoe house, that was quite good fun, and so today we thought we'd have a quick look at what we've got left to play with. Now, the skate park was hanging over from the last video, that was the other job we didn't do, so we've got the vintage car, forest cottage and the skate park. So I think we'll do the skate park probably today, but as we've now got to 40 reputation and we have over $2,000, we now are in a position we can go and unlock the heavy duty Prime Vista 3000 spray gun. So I figured, as this is a lot more with ingrained than the previous one, and surface and encrusted and stuff has all jumped up, I think we will go and upgrade this one, because I get the feeling that skate park is going to take a fair amount of work. So having the best or the better spray gun or the power washer will probably help us monumentally. So let's go ahead and buy that, and then we can go diving straight in, and we'll go and take a look at the skate park. Now, again, this may well be one that's going to take longer than an hour, but we'll give it a shot, get as much done as we can, and then we can always come back. I mean, it looks like there's going to be lots of flat walls, flat ground, so we may well be able to clear through a lot of this, but we'll see how it goes. So, okay, so it seems our little town's going up in the world. Muckingham Skate Park's been chosen to host the next county championships. Ordinarily, I'd leave the sullen types to roll around in their own filth, as is their wont. But if it's going to be in the papers and TV, we can't have people seeing it, all that grime and funny writing. So I want you to hit it with everything you've got. Cool. Let's get diving straight in then. So let's have a quick, actually before that, let's have a look. So we've got an arch, a bowl, corner ramp, fun box, gallery bench. It's not that many physical bits to look at compared to some of the other properties, but I just think just general square footage is going to be a lot different of how large everything is. And there's 4 quarter pipes, so those are quite large usually. So yeah, we'll just dive straight in and we'll get on with the job. So let's have a look. Okay, cool. So this is our new Urban Max. So let's pick an area to start. Let's go over here, because we've got a couple of walls directly that we can pretty much get started in. So let's just go and explain to you what kind of compound they use for structures such as these. Yeah, probably concrete. Oh, that's doing really well. Let me see if we can move up in to the 25-degree nozzle. Let's see how that runs. Okay, so it's not quite getting all of the stuff off in one hit, but like the second pass seems to do a lot. So I think we're going to have to go back to the 15-degree nozzle, realistically, because that's getting everything off in one pass. Again, smaller fan of water, but more powerful, so we'll crack on with that, and then we'll see how we get on. So we've got this lower wall, then we've got that metal bar at the top that we're going to have to deal with, so let's get some clean area on the ground as well, so we can see if we've missed anything on the bottom part of that wall. There we go, that'll cover that. You always get little bits in the crack between the two target areas, so might as well clean all the way down in between that while we're doing it. Okay, so we've got the railing, then we've got the wall. So it looks like this has got 2 components, and oh, it looks like there's some painting. Is that? They did say there's some graffiti as well by the looks of things, so we're gonna have to get rid of that while we're at it. So let's see what we got here. Okay, yeah, so this is going to take a couple of passes for the graffiti to come off. go, so that's that. Now, how much of this is... Oh, we've got the edge to do as well. I'm assuming this wall is all one bit. Oh no, they are two separate walls. Okay. Interesting. Right, let's get down the middle part. Let's just make sure that nothing in there is... I don't know what language is on that, but we'll work around it as best we can. We've got some areas here. Switch over to the other way of orientation for the nozzle. I'm guessing we've got stuff on either corner. Oh, we've got stuff underneath as well. Lovely. Whee! Good. Railing's done. Alright, brilliant. So we've got stuff to do. So why isn't that wall showing as being done yet? What does that include? Have I got something I'm missing up top here? Oh, don't tell me there's something on the top. Oh, there is. Oh, for God's sake. Right, okay. That's cool. We'll get that top part done. We'll do the same over here. Yay! Wall done. Okay. So the top part to do as well. Yeah, this is going to take a little bit of time, I can see. Oh, damn it. Right, okay, next wall. Why is that in red? Is that... Ah, I know why. I hadn't moved up to that one. Right, let's try this again, shall we? Oh, that's a lot better. I hadn't changed gun. My fault. I was wondering, I had something sitting in my head going, it shouldn't be red, it shouldn't be red. That was the old gun. I thought it changed automatically, so... Oh well, that was me being a muppet. Sorry about that, everyone. Oh yeah, that's just absolutely eating through the graffiti. Pretty much one pass and it's all gone. Nice. Okay, tell you what, let's change to the 25-degree nozzle and we'll have a look at what's on this, on the floor here. So if we go a little bit slower, it seems to cut through pretty well. We've still got a couple of areas where you need to do a second pass. But comparatively with how quickly you can go through at the 15-degree, so you just can run that up and down. It's still quicker with the 15-degree, if I'm honest. I wonder if one of the nozzle extension or the handle extensions that they, no, the nozzle extension they have will actually help, because that will then get the nozzle closer to the ground and may not necessarily be, having the loss of power that you get with the slightly, when you change up to the slightly higher span or fan nozzle at the end. Oh, well, right. Let's quickly get this done. Yeah. All right. Let's deal with the ground. Let's do the ground. Sorry, I keep changing my bloody mind on what I'm going to focus on. But I get a feeling this wall is going to be both sides of it. So. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of work. Just purely because of how much there is to clean. And yeah, there you go. Let me know in the comments down below, what kind of music would you listen to when you are doing a job like this? See what people's opinions are on stuff like that. You know, some people will say, oh, I listen to such and such kind of music when I'm down the gym, or if I want to chill out or do whatever. So if you're doing a job like this, what music would you listen to? Or what, you know, it doesn't matter what, if there's a particular band or genre of music that you would like to listen to, let me know in the comments. Be intriguing to find out. Let's just get a clean section on the wall along so we can see and make sure we've got everything covered on the edge of the floor. So it's good to have a clean starting point. Damn it, I made a clean spot on the bench. I have to do the bench while I'm doing this as part of it. There's no way I'm going to get the rest of this floor done and not take on the bench as well, so. Alright, let's get going. Right, let's cut that out, and then we can say that's going to be our clean spot over here. So we can make sure we get into that little nook and cranny down there. At least we know we've got that bit cleaned. All the way up to the wall. So it's taking us nearly 10 minutes to do 8% of the park. Yeah, this one's going to take a little bit of time for sure. But that's fine. I quite enjoy these sorts of things. You know, it's nice just, you know, not have to think too hard. Just keep an eye on what you're doing. And just slowly but surely chip away at it. Perseverance and patience. Good lesson. Disconcerting over there because there's that little bit of black right at the very bottom. Makes me think there's some dirt over there, but that wall's already pinged that it's completed, so bit annoying. Right, let's make sure this side's all done. I get the feeling I'll have to get prone as well. There's going to be stuff under there. Oh, there's a surprise. Okay. Yep, we've got the underside of the bench to do as well. Just that wasn't annoying enough. And we've got the underside of the other bit to do as well. So we're going to be completely prone on that. Oh. Damn it. But hey, you know, at least we'll make sure we're doing a thorough job. They can't say that we haven't. You know, we've got completely underneath, got even effectively the chewing gum off the bottom of these bench seats. Don't know if I can actually get underneath this lower level, but right, we'll give it a shot. Bit there. Okay, good. Does that class it as one bench, even though there's a gap between the two, or does that class it as two benches and we're going to get 2 points off there? Curious. I'd be intrigued to know. Oh, found the step ladder. I know, it looks like it's all seen as one big bench. Oh, that's a shame. I was hoping it would have been seen as, like, you know, 3 smaller benches all together, because that would have made it a lot easier to handle. Right, let's just run up the front here just so we can clean out the front of the bench so we know where we're looking. Got our clean patch to work from. Oh wow, that's great. How much that's cutting through the mud from that distance. That is a lot more power. And how ingrained this stuff is, and I'm able to just one short quick pass and I'm cutting through a swathe of dirt and muck and everything, even from a good distance away as well. I wonder what the most powerful one does. Although that is, what, 10,000 I think, and you need 90 reputation. But hell, with this one, the way it's working, that shouldn't be too difficult for us to get through to. We should be able to start eating our way through the other episodes, or the other jobs we've got to do. Although I'd be intrigued with a vintage car, because old paint like those on old cars weren't that thick. So I'd be intrigued to see how well, like, a really high pressure hose would do with that car, and whether it actually starts ripping the paint off, which is what you'd expect to happen more likely in real life. You know, older paints aren't as durable, and you know, the clear coat wasn't as thick as some of the more newer polymerized paints that you'll find on newer cars. You know, they've got more sort of plasticizing agents and stuff in them, whereas the old ones were almost effectively sometimes a lacquer almost. Which is why on some of the old cars the paint doesn't, you know, just end up, you know, cracking off. It kind of peels off in chunks. Right. Okay, we're up to 14% now. Right, let's get the top of this done. Try and do all that from standing here. Yeah! Oh, that looks cool. Right, good. Let's get down behind here and we'll do the back part and underneath. Yeah, being prone is not a good way of doing the floors, for sure. Yeah, definitely isn't the way to do the floors. But if we can get at least into this part for these benches, we can at least get clear on that. Bench is nearly done by the looks of things. Hopefully, looking by the amount we've got left, this should be the last little bit of the bench to be done. Might be another area cleared off. Just quickly get that floor bit while I'm here. Too close to that part. Good. Under there. I'm missing some little tiny bits then on here. A little bit over there. A little bit there. Problem is that dirty great big chunk of wall behind it, you can't really make it out as clearly. Yeah, there's a tiny little bit left somewhere on this bench. There's a little bit of something there. A little bit there. Up, that little bit at the bottom there. Hey, that was it, done. Alright, good. So bench is done. Let's do over this corner where our van is. Might as well get this lower wall done while I'm here. The quicker we get started on some of this, the better. I think we might end up doing is doing the floor and lower parts of walls first, just so we've got that clean area, and then I can just come back and do the upper parts of the wall later on, just to kind of catch up. Because at least that way then it's all like, you know, big flat surfaces that I can concentrate on. that out of the way. Why are you not letting me put that down? Go on, put it down. How could that not fit in there? Damn it. Alright, go and sit in the clear part. Thank you. Same with you. You can go down there as well. Alright, you can go in the corner out of the way. I don't need you yet. Right, good. Here we go. Let's now finish off on the ground. It does look very cool though, the shadow of the step stool. Right, let's get rid of that. Crikey, I've just looked up and seen how much we've still got left to do. Blimey. Well, if we get the flooring done at least we've got a good... I think one of the most parts of this is going to be floor. Whee, there we go. That's a big chunk of floor clean. Lovely. Oh, we've got steps to deal with as well. Oh, lovely. Well, that's fine. We can work through all this. No job is too big, as they say. I mean, how in the heck do you make a slope out of concrete? By using wooden forms, so that you can build the concrete up in layers. Or by some kind of slip casting with a wooden form on both sides. So you effectively made some kind of a box and you pour the concrete in. The concrete will, because it's in a liquid state, it will, you know, settle itself into any cavity that it can get into. And then you leave it for a few days for the concrete to properly set and cure, and then you've got your concrete archway or ramp or whatever shape you wanted. And crikey, they did it with the Hoover Dam, and that's been around for donkey's years, so it's not exactly like this is a new bit of technology. Although I believe with the Hoover Dam they actually end up having to use some kind of liquid nitrogen cryo process to keep or at least try and control the temperature of the setting concrete, because setting concrete is quite exothermic, and they were worried about it getting too hot and cracking the dried concrete on top, as the internal areas of the concrete that hadn't dried was still drying and still obviously producing heat. So they ended up, I believe, running some pipes and liquid nitrogen, I think it may have been, to help control and take away some of that heat. Because one thing you don't want is, on a dirty great big wall of a dam, you don't want any kind of stress fractures or cracks to appear anywhere in the wall of that. You want it pretty damn solid. Otherwise, some very, very bad things happen under the high pressure of lots of water. There have been enough dam collapses and things like that have shown over history that when you build a dam, you want the thing to be damn strong, literally. Okay, 22%, half an hour in, yeah, we're going to be well over an hour. Still got the half pipes and things to do yet. I'm guessing are these going to be these parts. That's one of the quarter pipes. We've got that flipping archway over there that's going to be interesting. Tidy up that edgeway a little bit. Must admit, when I first played this game, or first heard about this game, I thought, oh, this wouldn't be a game that I'd want to play for hours on end, you know. It's a game about just washing something, for God's sake. That's going to be such low amount of replay value that I'd probably get bored after the first half hour. No, here we go. Another episode, and I'm just really enjoying myself and just finding it stupidly relaxing. That was why I ended up going and picking up the full version of Lawnmower Simulator when it was on cheap. So I figured, well, if I've enjoyed this, I might well have a look at see what the rest of it's like. That's why I tried out the demo for Spray Paint Simulator. But I haven't actually gone as far as buying that yet. I wanted to complete this first. So I thought, now, having two video series running concurrently, both doing almost the same thing, that's just throwing on paint rather than doing this, because they're both almost the same sort of thing. One's just painting, this is just cleaning. That's still one I'm keeping an eye on. I'm keeping an eye on the Steam reviews as well. Because some of them are saying that, you know, it's nice in its own way, but not quite got the heart and soul of, say, this game. So, and again, it's still only just recently come out, so we'll give it. I might give it a couple of months for the devs to, you know, look at actually putting some more time and effort into it and maybe addressing some of those problems. And this has been out for a couple of years, so I don't know what this was like when I first, when it first came out. I mean, you know, I only looked at it. It must have been February or March time. This is one of the earlier videos I put on the channel. Just because I figured, well, it's a content video. You know, if no one watches it, it's not the end of the world. You know, because it was only still a very new channel, but yeah, people seem to quite enjoy it, so. So I thought I'd turn it into a full-on series. Right, so we're getting over onto this wall now. We've got this quarter pipe to deal with. Well, gotta say, whoever did this concrete has made it look really damn smooth. Anyway, I remember when there were play areas that we used to have when I was a kid that were concreted over, and you could literally see the some of the stones that were used in the hardcore for mixing in for the concrete that was in there. Bloody hell, they hurt when you fell on them, when you fell off of a climbing frame or a swing or something and you landed knees first. Oh! Made you bloody limp for ages. Then they came up with that other idea for parks. Don't know if it happened in any of the other countries, but it happened in the UK, where they gone from having, you know, what was just effectively earth, sort of mud and just plain dirt underneath swings, climbing frames, etc. Then some genius had this idea to put in what was almost like some kind of agricultural bark chippings to be able to be, oh, that'll be much more nice for when kids fall off stuff. It'll be a lot easier. Yeah, no. So not only are you ending up falling on little chunks of dried and dehydrated wood, but you're also getting splinters out of it, because most kids that go to play areas in summertime and stuff were in bloody shorts. So you fall down knees first, especially if you're falling off something when you're travelling in any kind of forward momentum. You're skidding across this bark, you're getting bloody splinters, and landing on like these little chunks of dried wood. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, now they've moved on to those kind of like rubberized matting type material, which is a little bit nicer for kids for sure. But yeah, those days used to be bloody horrible. Certainly made you want to cling on for dear life if you felt like you were losing balance. But no, I'd rather rip my own fingernails off trying to hold on to this chunk of wooden climbing frame than land down there and end up in bloody agony. Because those chunks of like bark chips and things wouldn't all be sitting flat. You'd get certain ones of them, obviously where kids have run along, scuffed stuff up, where you get a chunk of bark that was lying on its side. Yeah, you land on that wrongly and that you're going to know about it. Yeah, I remember one of my mates years ago, he used to quite often run around on play areas barefoot, and I remember he got the bottom of his feet were just torn to ribbons from all the crappy bark that was under there. Yeah. Probably I think he lasted about 25 minutes before he ended up having to go, no, gotta go and put my shoes back on. Literally his feet were bleeding. He had a load of bloody splinters, the poor bastard. It was actually nicer just to fall on actual not plain dirt. That actually seemed to be softer. Maybe not softer, but at least it didn't hurt quite as much as that bloody wooden bark did. Oh well, enough of my old man rant. Right, here we go. Cool, so we're at 35%. Blimey, 40 minutes already, crikey. You see how you can just turn your brain off and just lose yourself in this game for a bit. I'm having a wonder, when was the last time this would have been clean for it to be this damn messy all over? As long as I don't get myself into a situation like the shoe house where I'm trying to find a blasted one little speck that was missing, I don't mind. That's the frustrating part of this game, is where you've got little tiny bits you've missed. You have to go hunting around for them. Hey there, I've got one heck of a filthy sidecar if you can fit us in. Yeah, that's cool. Sidecar will be great today. The one thing I know about concrete is that it likes to be as flat as possible. Yeah, pretty much. Depends what other substrates you mix in with the concrete, I suppose. What are we doing up there? Stop doing the flat bit at the top. Deal with the flat bit on the ground first. Keep distracting myself going, oh, done a clean bit. Let's clean that off. Right. Do the floor first. I said I was going to do the floor first after I'd done the last couple of bits I did. But at least that way then I can come along and do the rest of it. And I've still got all that to do yet. So, haven't done too badly on the floor so far. Well over halfway through the floor, so yeah, I'll take that as a good win. Okay, good. That's coming along nicely there. Cool. Right. This last bit over here should be where we need to work on next, and hopefully that's the floor done. At least it's the main area of floor anyway. So I can see we've got some chunks of this area. We've got a seam line along here. Okay, so I called this one big area. Okay, because I know we had that other area over by where the bench is that finished off in one go. Didn't know if this had been split into sections as well. Obviously not. That's a shame. It would have been nice if they had it done, so we could have had that. You know, we've done this section, this section, this section, and we had that section left. No, it looks like they've done it all into one big area for this side. That's a shame. But, hey, Dev's decision is final. Right, let's get a bit of height up here onto this quarter pipe, and then we can work on clearing the last of this up. We haven't done badly so far on the floor. Where are we at? 49 minutes. I think what we'll probably do is we'll probably finish off the floor, and then I will pop you on pause, and then crack on with the rest of it, and come back to you when we're down to the last couple of items. And that way then, you're at least getting a sense of how long this is going to take to complete, and also not being put to sleep watching the entire couple of hours that it will probably take to complete this. But I do like the new hose. Obviously I'm going to stick with this one for a while. I think the next one up was saying it was like 10,000 or something, and I think you said you needed like 90 reputation, and we are only on 40, so still got a long way to go for that one. So I may invest in a couple of the attachments for this power hose kit. Then we can look at how much we can properly move around with what we've got, what we're working with. Yeah, I keep seeing little bits I'm missing on the ground. As long as I can get enough of it done that the game goes, oh no, you're done. And it'll pick up those other little bits and clean them. Oops, wrong button. Whee! That's the skate park floor cleared. Right, let's quickly have a look at one of these quarter pipes just before I pause the video. Just so you can have a look at how quickly or not this one works. Oh, it's called a spine. Sorry, not a quarter pipe. My apologies. I don't know. I'm not a skateboarder. I don't know the terminology. It's never the most proficient on a skateboard. Bike, yes. Skateboard, no. Hopefully this last little bit, and then the top of the spine. Then that should push us over the 50%. Whee! Right, there we go. Cool. Alright, well, as it's 53 minutes in, we're... Oh no, we're still 49%. Oh, you buggers. Alright, well, I'll pause the video now, and I will come back to you all once I've gotten to, like, 99%. I will see you in a bit. Alright then, back with you. Right then, so now we are at 99%, and we have one wall left to do. So you'll remember what a state this place looked like. You saw the walls were starting to look nice. Well, here we go. Here is the rest of the park all looking nice and clean. Aside from one bit of wall I need to clean, which will finish it off. But here we go. So you've seen all this area with the bench and down to here. And now we have the rest of the park. So there we go. All nice and clean with the watermelon looking bowl that they have here, and you obviously got your quarter pipe, the spine, more little ramps thing, and then we have this this archway that almost looks like it's kind of designed to look like a watermelon rind. So yeah, had some fun and games with the actual railings. They were quite fun. And all of these walls that you see have little areas on top of them, and the game really doesn't seem to do well with letting you up here, because literally that's as far forward as you can go, because obviously there's the edging of the map, so you got to be careful where you get to, because otherwise you just fall straight off. There's no way that it's actually seeming to properly let you on. So there we go. Rather than being able to jump off of there onto this bit of wall, it just completely drops you onto the floor. So there's obviously some crash detection fun and games going on there. But yeah, otherwise this is all done. So let's just quickly finish this off, and then we can take a look at the time lapse. So let's quickly do this. But yeah, I must say I do like the upgraded spray equipment. Each time the upgrades seem to make a massive world of difference, which is fun. And so far we haven't needed to look at using any of the spray liquids yet, so maybe when it comes to like the bonus episodes we'll take a look at those. But I mean, so far there's been nothing that's really stopped us from being able to move forward. I mean, using the 25-degree nozzle, we're pretty much chewing through everything that we have come across. So it's not that there's an area where I'm just sitting there going over and over and over the same bit again, unless it's one of those parts where, hey, there we go, job complete. So yeah, I'll just quickly watch the time lapse. There we go. You can see quite the transformation. Is it going to show me jumping on top of the ramp or the archway? No. Okay. Well, there we go. That's all done. And good. Great job, Dirt Finder. Scrubbed up neat, didn't it? Beats me how you do it. Just that jet of angry water. Not that folks seem grateful. All I'm getting so far is gas from the Baggy Pants Brigade, complaining it didn't look sick no more, which was surely the point. Sure, whatever. Whatever works for them, I guess. And cool, so there we go. So we've now got the vintage car and the forest cottage. And we've also now picked up the new job of the motorbike and sidecar. So once more, over to yourselves. Which one would you like me to look at doing next? Obviously, the vintage car and the motorbike and sidecar, we could probably throw those together to be pretty quickly. They could be an episode all on their own. And then the forest cottage being obviously a larger item at $700, that would probably be a full episode just to itself. So please let me know in the comments which one you prefer to see. And also, it would be really cool if you haven't already, please do consider throwing a like and a subscribe. It does really help the channel grow. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much indeed for your time. You take care now. All right. Bye bye.